A question coming from Mahalakshmi, bought at levels of 279 for a period of 3 months. Is it possible to get my money back? So 279. All right. So there is a bit of a gap on Bank of Baroda. So 3 months, would you hold or would you book losses at this juncture?
You know, Mahalakshmi, I think you've picked the weakest of the PSU banks, at least on the price performance. There is SBI, Canara Bank, perhaps even a PNB. Bank of Baroda has had its share of issues. We've seen a lot of recovery, but again, the recovery is not sustaining. The stock's taken a big knock. It is perhaps the weakest of the PSU pack. My suggestion would be to exit for now. Although there is a near-term support at 238 in case you want to hold on to this with a tight stop loss, but there aren't any real triggers, at least on the charts, that suggest that 275 perhaps could be visited anytime soon. So my suggestion: exit for now. Let the stock settle. We'll see when to re-enter and when to buy again. But for now, exit. All right. The next question is on BSE, and it's for you, Samir, and we've got Vijay Reddy from New Delhi who's asking whether this is a good time to enter the stock. It's trading at 2,478 levels, and based on the kind of increase in participation in the stock markets over the last 3 years or so, a lot of people are betting on this counter. Would you be one of those?
So at the moment, no. I'll tell you why. There are two very clear reasons. The first is that SEBI is looking to reduce the weekly contracts. And if you see in the F&O segment, BSE has a very small market share at the moment. And that too, whatever is happening on the weekly expiry days. If you see, there's not too much more depth in BSE at the moment. So if SEBI does regulate few options trading on the weekly side, I think that could be a hit to its profitability. A lot of positivity had come because they had managed to get some amount of market share in the F&O segment. But if they are not able to launch the same number of weekly expiry contracts and get this volumes on those two particular days, I think that could be a bit of a setback. Second, this is a very cyclical business. You see, we've had a period of maybe 3 to 4 years of very high increase in turnover on the exchanges, and that cannot sustain. So there will be a point, maybe not now, maybe not in the next 6 months, but in a year's time, where you will see a correction and where the activity on the exchanges will dwindle. And the minute that starts happening, what you will see is the valuations will start looking a lot more expensive. Right now, a lot of people are factoring in a lot of growth. But if that growth does not pan out, then valuations start looking expensive. You could see the stock correct. So I would be in no rush to buy BSE or any of the other exchanges at this point of time.
Right. We have time for one quick question. IDFC First Bank and Zomato are the two stocks that Shivananda has identified. He's got a significant quantum of 25 lakhs that he can deploy. He's looking at a medium-term time frame. He's asking if we should get into these two. Kush, what's the view? IDFC First Bank is a very clear avoid, on my radar, and Zomato is still something that you can buy. The only thing that, the stocks run up, so do it in a staggered manner, especially, if you've got a lump sum amount, always advisable to do it in a staggered manner. Zomato is a buy, IDFC First Bank is an avoid. All right. On that note,